Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Man, we got so much to get into in this video because of this. Yesterday, it becomes official. Five-star quarterback George MacIntyre is in the boat. He commits to Tennessee. Had a great time watching that commitment live right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network with you guys. Shout out to you. Biggest live stream we've ever done. 3,600 people watching live. We appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging out. This is big. This is big for Josh Heupel. It's big for the class of 2025. You've got your man, and now the first thing George MacIntyre says he is going to do is he is going to hit the recruiting trail. In a quote to 247 Sports, he said, I think nationally there's a lot of names out there that we're going to be pretty high on. He said, I think David Sanders is definitely a big one. Jamie French, another big one. Big time guys. He goes on to say, I think there's so much in-state talent. I think it's probably one of the most talented classes the state of Tennessee has had in years. So we've really got to lock guys like that down, like Chauncey Gooden, Cameron Sparks, Ethan Utley. There's many more. I'm definitely missing out on some names. The article I read, he went on to talk about how it was kind of strange because he was in town this past weekend. He hadn't yet pulled the trigger, but he knew he was coming to Tennessee, and he talked about how he was here on campus recruiting guys to the Big Orange. We're going to take a look at some of the reactions around social media. Some of the guys that he mentioned there in that quote reacted on social media, and I think George has the pull. We talk about the Nico effect. I think George may have more pull because of his ties to the Southeast. We're going to get into it, but as always, do me a favor, guys. Smash the thumbs up just below this video. It is quick, it is free, it is easy, it helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts, not insiders, we're not media. We don't pretend to be any of that. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video live later tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be playing some NCAA 14 revamped, but we also talk all things Tennessee football. Big stream tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We give back. We are going to give back to the men and women of our military. We love our troops here. We're going to support that. We are going to support the Fisher House Foundation. It's like a Ronald McDonald House for our military. So we're going to be doing a charity stream. The Swain event's going to be in the house. Jason Swain, Ben McKee, A to Z Sports, Pancakes and Bacon. VolQuest will be in the house. Sports Talk Jay is going to come hang out and talk a little Tennessee football, and all the cast and characters of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Make sure you don't miss it. I'm going to set up that stream here in just a little bit, and you guys can go ahead and start donating today. Get in where you fit in. Let's show some love. Let's show what Vol Nation can do. Make sure you guys retweet that stream as well. I want to get as many eyes on that as possible. All right, enough rambling and shilling, but hey, we're trying to do something positive. We're trying to do something good. We're trying to give back. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about the GMAC effect. You can see this tweet from All Vol Report. It says, expect Tennessee commit George MacIntyre to now go after some big-time names, including five-star offensive tackle David Sanders and four-star athlete Cam Sparks, among many others. This 2025 class has a shot to be very special, with GMAC leading the charge. Well, guess who jumped right in? You can see there right down here, George MacIntyre jumps in and says, come on now, David Sanders and Cameron Sparks. Well, how would they react to that? Again, got a lot of screens we're going to share. We're going to show you guys. We're going to follow. We're going to read between the lines. We're going to see what some of these guys said, but let's go up and let's take a look at how David Sanders responded on Instagram. He said, let's go, brother. Crossing those fingers, orange emoji. Now, I've talked about David Sanders a lot on this channel. Five-star offensive tackle in the class of 2025. Priority number one. For me, priority number one. You got Lance Hurd in the boat now, and he's got 3 years of eligibility. You got Bennett Warren coming in. You got Gage Ginther. You're starting to build that offensive line unit. We've talked about depth and the lack of depth on that unit here lately. But guess what? You continue to recruit. You continue to stack classes. This roster is changing, and it is changing in a hurry. And that's because you had Nico in the boat. And then you went and got Jake Merklinger. And now you've got David Sanders out here potentially wanting to come to Tennessee because George MacIntyre committed yesterday and made it official. This is a huge one for me. Again, five-star offensive tackle, top offensive tackle in the country. Chad Simmons from On3.com put this out yesterday. It says David Sanders is coveted by many of the top programs in the country. He is a premier left tackle out of Charlotte, Providence Day, and he and McIntyre already have a relationship. The two have visited different schools together. They communicate, and they have had conversations about playing on the same team. When Sanders was in Tuscaloosa and Knoxville for games in the fall, McIntyre was on the same visits. He says, expect when Sanders returns to Knoxville for McIntyre to be there. This is one to watch with the new quarterback in the fold. He's expected to be in Knoxville in February for Junior Day, so we will continue to keep an eye on that. But George McIntyre is going to be very active, kind of like Nico was. He's planning to be here as much as possible so that he can go to work on the recruiting trail. Another guy that was mentioned in that tweet was 4-star athlete Cam Sparks. Now, I couldn't find any reactions from him on social media, but you see here, in-state kid out of Chattanooga, 4-star prospect, top 5 athlete in the country. So again, we're talking about top 100 players. We're talking about blue chip prospects. We're talking about guys that flip this roster, impact guys, game changers. Cam Sparks, something worth noting, he plays 7-on-7 with George McIntyre. So again, that relationship already there. He did give a quote to VAWLS, says, congratulations to him and his family. There is no doubt that Tennessee is getting a great quarterback. Now, Chad Simmons put out an update on him as well. Says Tennessee is considered the favorite to land Cameron Sparks, and their chances to keep the versatile athlete home went up with this commitment. Sparks wants to play with a top quarterback that can get him the ball on the next level. McIntyre is that. They've got a relationship. The two know each other pretty well. Auburn, Georgia, and some others are Tennessee's competition, but the Vols will have Sparks back on campus with McIntyre soon. Again, the relationships, the connections. You know, we talked about Nico and how a lot of his relationships were out west. He had a huge impact, and I think he's having even a bigger impact now with the transfer portal and even some of these class of 24, class of 25 guys knowing that Nico's there. That's the beautiful thing. You know, you got Nico for 2 years. That's the expectation. 2 more years of Nico off to the NFL. We're going to have a quarterback competition between Jake Merklinger and George McIntyre. Let the best man win. Let the chips fall where they may. Now, this is an interesting one for me, and I made a video on him, I think it was a week or so ago when he decommitted 5-star wide receiver Jamie French. And if you remember, about a week or two ago, I made a video on Jamie French decommits from Alabama after committing back in July, chose Alabama over Miami, Florida State, and LSU. Nick Saban rides off into the sunset. Jamie French decommits. Now, the reason I put that out there because he has a pretty good relationship with George McIntyre, but the big thing is, would Tennessee be able to get him on campus? And it was a kind of wait-and-see type thing. Now, again, didn't see any social media reactions from Jamie French. What I did see was a quote that VAWLS put out immediately after the commitment. And this is from Jamie French directly. Said, I pretty much had an idea. I was excited for him. I am trying to visit up there next. So I'm excited about getting up there. Him and the coaches have been talking to me about a visit. The coaches asked him about his top guys, and he told them me. So they have been on me. That's a 5-star wide receiver. That's one of the best wide receivers in the country. That's a top 15 player nationally. So look at the names that we're rattling off here. Tennessee's going to have a shot with Jamie French. Is this a lock? Is it a done deal? No. But like I said in the video a week or two ago, you got to try to get him on campus. After the decommitment, the next step, get him on campus, win him over, get him in this offense, and then let's ride. So what are we talking about with the George McIntyre effect right now? You're talking about a 5-star quarterback. You're talking about the number 1 ranked offensive tackle in the country. You're talking about one of the elite athletes in the country with Cam Sparks. And when we talk about offensive tackle, there's another offensive tackle out of Roswell, Georgia, Josh Petty, 4-star, number 3 ranked offensive tackle in the class. Grew up a Tennessee fan, loves the Vols. So Tennessee very deep on the best offensive tackle in the country and the number 3 ranked offensive tackle in the country. Now they're trying to go get a top wide receiver in Jamie French. We will keep an eye on it. I fully expect him to visit. Now, can this coaching staff do what they do and win him over? Now let's talk about one more reaction on social media. This one kind of caught me by surprise. Shout out Dylan Elam. Dylan Elam was sending me all the screen grabs in the world about what was going on after Georgia's commitment. This one kind of surprised me. Jaylene Matthews quote tweets George McIntyre, do you need a lineman? Now, Jaylene Matthews is a 4-star offensive tackle out of Toms River, New Jersey. Don't know a whole lot about him. Just now kind of popping on my radar after this post on social media, but that just shows you again the impact that George McIntyre is making. The On3 recruiting prediction machine has Georgia way out front, but it's worth noting. Is he playing Tennessee? Is he playing games? I don't know. We'll see. It's worth taking a look at that he would tweet out and say, hey, George, you need any linemen? So again, top 150 player, 13th ranked offensive tackle in the country. You got 3 really good offensive tackles that are interested in coming and being a part of George McIntyre and the University of Tennessee. Again, Matthews out of Toms River, New Jersey. You want to take it a step further, Dylan sent me this and said, hey, Boogie, is this a coincidence? I don't know. He's out of Toms River, New Jersey. He's tweeting, you need linemen. Mike Eckler tweets out also yesterday, weather might be cold in New Jersey, but Vol football is fire. Mike Eckler out there on the recruiting trail, just happens to be in New Jersey. Is that a coincidence? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The bottom line is the buzz is around Tennessee right now. The top offensive tackle in the country, 5-star wide receivers. I didn't even mention Caleb Cunningham, who also has a great relationship with George McIntyre, another 5-star wide receiver. This seems very similar to Nico. The difference is there's no NCAA investigation looming. It's in the past. I think 2024 is the year of the Vols. College football playoff or bust, and let's go grab a top 5 class for the class of 2025. You guys know the deal by now. Smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise for the Talkin VAWLS Network at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Shout out to the members of the channel. Appreciate you guys with those power tees beside your name. You want to be a part of that, hit the join button down below. You can do that for $1 a month. We would appreciate that support. Like I said, I'm going to go create the charity stream for tomorrow night here in just a little bit. Go on in, get in where you fit in. If you can afford to donate, we would greatly appreciate it. I'm setting a goal of $5,000. I think we can do it. I know what you guys, how you support this channel. I know what you guys give me to sit around and play video games. Let's give some of that back to the men and women that support this country, our troops, and the Fisher House Foundation. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.